All right, I'm here today with my good friend Nick from Cycle Electric. Um, wow, you guys have been in business for how long?
Dad started Cycle Electric in 1983, give or take a year.
Yeah, so it's a lot of years.
Many years making the classic generator and regulators and now alternators. But today we're here to talk about the low voltage Sportster chopper Dirtster regulator.
Yes. So, about a year ago, my nephew and I built some Dirtsters, and we've came across a common problem across the board with these Dirtsters and lithium batteries in general. Especially when you sink them in an oil bag, surrounded by hot oil. They're already, it seems like they're overcharging. That's building heat also. So it seems like there's a common issue across the board with these batteries getting hot and exploding or just swelling up, or been all kinds of tricks that I've seen him do. So I called Nick, and I needed a regulator, and he came up with this great idea about building us some that, what would you call, like, just in layman's terms, kind of trickle charges them as opposed to just charge them as hardcore as your traditional charger.
Yeah, so this isn't a new problem because we've heard it from customers before. And luckily, we kind of already had a solution because years upon years ago, most softail riders were having issues with batteries swelling, puking acid out. And so we came up with lower voltage regulators for the softails to prevent puking out the acid in the smaller batteries that are in oil bags.
So it's not necessarily a lithium battery issue, it's more of just the heat on the battery in general.
Yes and yes. It is a lithium specific issue. Like if you go to a lithium battery manufacturer's website, they say don't use a charging system from like before 19. They throw a year out. At
Okay.
some point, maybe the voltage has changed, but essentially they have a pretty rigid voltage cap for charging. And traditional charging systems can kind of be on that threshold. And when we're talking about anti-gravity, it was a popular battery you guys are using in the Dirtsters and a lot of your choppers. They have like a 14.4 volt ceiling. So we've reduced the charge rate on these, which what we've been doing on Softails for years happens to work really slick. For you and your application with the Dirtsters, we dropped it a little bit more because you're not powering a whole lot. And
Sure.
also these things, as far as the Dirtsters are concerned, are really getting tortured even more. So we dropped the voltage and it keeps the battery charged so you can restart when you're while learning the mud. But do everything we can to keep from overcooking these batteries and keeping these things from catching on fire.
Yeah, so we've been running these, my nephew and I, for a year, and we've had good luck with them on our bikes. And, once again, we get in the woods and do a lot of tight stuff, so you're not getting that air cooled riding down the highway type wind across these motors. So you're building up motor heat. The oil is obviously, I don't know what that temperature is getting to, but it's definitely getting to way more than what we get on the road, I'm sure. So we've had really good luck with them. So you have one here today. Let's show everybody what we have here with this
Yeah, so
regulator.
those are sort of traditional 22, 32 amp regulator housing. We've got the plug to fit, what do I say, 1990
To 2006 Sportsters.
Sportster expert here. Uh, Alternator plug, fit all those models. We've got generic B plus lead marked for your pleasure.
So this could
And
go straight to your battery.
we're always going to say run it to a fuse or breaker
Okay,
because safety first,
sure.
but battery positive. And then
Just joking. To the fuse.
all of our voltage regulators in this family are case ground, battery negative. But for this application, we've given you a ground wire, which is unique in some applications. But the Dirtsters getting dirty, if regulator comes loose, you got heavy powder coat, you don't want to worry about cutting through. Run this to a good chassis ground, engine
That's
case.
definitely what I like about this application you have on this, because like if we're building a nice chopper, you know, we want it to be nice and clean. We could just chop that wire off close to the housing,
Yeah.
And it goes away and it's super clean. But the thing, like you said with the Dirtster, you go out and run this thing through a couple creeks, and let it set. Say it sets for a month, just because you're riding your street bike. That thing's just going to sit there and fester and rust. And I think it's a good idea to have the regulator grounded, but also have a separate ground somewhere else on that to just make sure you're definitely getting your regulator grounded so it's charging.
Yeah, these regulators require a solid connection to a good working battery to work properly. We do have regulators that can work with no battery use, but that's not what we're talking about here. So keep it connected. Voltage drops can reduce the overall output or can cause voltage to kind of do funny things. So we're all about good, proper connections to let the regulator do what it does best.
Sure. Well, cool. There you have it. Built for Lead Sled by Psychoelectric. Go check out our website. It's all on our website, ledsledcustoms.com. And also check out Psychoelectric.
Psychoelectricinc.com. We have applications from 1936 through 2016 for all the major Harley models. Working on some M8 stuff, but yeah, we're building this one specifically for Lead Sled. If this sounds good, but you want something a little different, contact Pat or give us a ring, and we can. We probably already have it, or we can tailor it to what you need.